This may be one of the most common trail camera mistakes. Deer are showing up in front of your camera almost every day, and you're excited and you go out and hunt and then no deer show. Now there could be a lot of factors at play there, but I think one of the mistakes a lot of folks make is that just because there's deer in front of that trail camera, it means it's time to go in and hunt, and that may or may not be the case. Trail cameras are great tools for deer hunters to better understand deer movement in the area that they're hunting. You know, the Moultrie mobile app allows us to scout, if you will, even while we're on the road, know what's going on at the proving grounds too, or maybe you're an absentee landowner and you need to keep eyes on your property. The Moultrie mobile app is a great way to get that current information of deer movement on your property. But I think one thing we overlook a lot of times is we get excited and we're seeing all those great images and videos coming through on our feed, and we don't slow down to really study or understand how deer are moving through the area. And this time of year, as deer season is starting to pick up, I want to make sure you slow down and really study each image and video on your Moultrie mobile app to really focus on how's that deer moving through the area, not just the time of day or whether it's a buck or doe, which is great. You get that activity chart and you can see, you know, hey, there's a peak here in the morning or a peak in the afternoon, or even at an individual camera site, man, this camera's just picking up a lot of bucks, or this camera's just picking up a lot of does. You know, I need venison for the freezer, so I'm going to move into this area where this camera is that's showing a lot of doe activity. Really slow down and study. Is that deer maybe feeding across, maybe left to right, you know, going from west to east? Or is it just passing by like it's on a mission and it's going somewhere else? And you're maybe a travel corridor and those deer are moving through there very quickly. Really slow down and look and see how those deer are moving through the area, especially if you have a stand or blind nearby. And that will really help you determine whether it's a good time to move in and hunt in that area. A great example of this is a little hidey hole food plot here at the proving grounds too. Now, last year we added this little hidey hole and our Moultrie mobile was just blowing up. There were bucks and does moving through this little hidey hole like crazy. And we actually went in and hung a stand based on that information and had some really good hunts. And the key to those hunts and seeing critters was that we were able to approach, hunt, and exit without alerting deer. This was a new hunting location for us, so we were using our Moultrie mobile to scout first before we actually set up our stand, and we were really studying how deer were moving through that area. And what we learned was that a lot of deer were coming from the north, and we were able to approach from the east and slide in and catch deer coming in from the north and go past us and then slip out if we didn't tag a deer. And we weren't alerting deer, and we had some great hunts. In fact, one morning Grant had a pile of deer pass within bow range. He was looking for a buck. We already had some venison for the freezer, but just a great example of how those deer were moving through there, and got past him, didn't alert the deer, and we were able to keep hunting that location. We've put our Moultrie mobile back in that same location, and we're seeing a lot of deer for the early season of 2023. However, we've noticed that those deer are coming from the south during the early season and not from the north. Now there's a lot of deer on camera, including some nice bucks, you know, a week or two ago, so they're probably still in the area. But we can't come in to this area and hunt in the afternoon when there's deer right in front of our Moultrie mobile, because if we were in that stand, our thermals would start falling down off the mountain, and our scent would likely be carried to where those deer are bedded. So we're opting not to hunt this location, even though there's a bunch of deer right in front of our Moultrie mobile, which is set up in front of a tree stand. Rather, we're going to be patient and wait to not alert those deer and wait till their pattern shifts, likely starting to come back from the north later on into the season. Maybe it may be a week or two from now, but wait until they start coming from the north, where we can get in there, get ahead of those deer, and cut them off and not alert them during our hunt. This is going to help keep those deer very relaxed and not alert them to our presence as we're hunting, and that's going to result in more venison for the freezer. Grant and I thought this would be a great point to share with you, that just because there's deer in front of your trail camera, it doesn't mean it's time to hunt that location. Really study how deer are moving through the area, where they're traveling, where they're headed, and then really consider, can you approach, hunt, and exit without alerting the deer from where they're coming or to where they're going. And I think that will really help you be more successful in the woods, so you can plan your hunting days accordingly. And maybe some of those really hot spots right now, maybe you gotta wait, but you can hunt some other locations where those conditions are favorable for you to get within range of a deer. Trail cameras can be great tools for hunters to better understand deer movement and behavior where they hunt. And I'm sure you've learned over the years some techniques and tips that have helped you be successful, and I encourage you to, if you want, share along with us. Drop in the comments some of your favorite trail camera tips so we can all learn and we can have a successful 2023 fall. No matter how you're getting outside this week, I hope you slow down and enjoy creation, but more importantly, listen to the Creator and the purpose He has for your life. Thanks for watching Growing Deer.